So, this is a stretch. With the whole new direction of the channel, I said that I talk about communities as well, and to an extent, I regard YouTube as my community, or an extension of it. Over the course of time, I've talked to a ton of creators, small, big, and huge, about almost everything there's to talk about, right? From building their own communities to morals, all the way to time management. Recently, I watched a video by someone I respect a lot for his work ethic, creativity, and no bullshit approach to creating stuff and giving people tips on how to do it, or what general direction to follow. One tip in particular piqued my interest because across the board, no one really talks about it, wants to talk about it, or really considered it to be a big thing. The big elephant in the room here is authenticity, or by association, honesty, versus profitability. You've been on the internet for a while, right? So you've seen creators or influencers come and go with all kinds of sponsorship, changes to their personalities, the way they speak, the way they act, all that good stuff. What if I told you, for 98% of them, it has been a conscious decision to change their ways in order to either make more money, get more popular, and by cause and effect get more views. Now, inherently, I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. Yeah, big surprise. I don't think it's wrong to alter your behavior in order to make your business or side hustle or whatever more profitable and more marketable. But altering behavior comes in many forms, and not all of them are good. Not all of them have a positive impact on the creator themselves, their audience, their surroundings, or all of those things combined. It's not hard to imagine that if you go from a rather introverted, laid-back personality who speak their minds regardless, to constantly being 100% over the top, censoring yourself to a degree where you're family friendly, and basically become an acted version of yourself. It affects everything and anything around you, not always in a good way. Such massive changes can be incredibly straining on your psyche. It changes the way you think, it changes your approach to the content you make, and more often than not, it destroys your authenticity with your audience completely. But we'll come back to that in a bit. So, okay, with all that said, true 100% no bullshit honesty is the way, right? I wouldn't say it is, and I'm not trying to say don't be honest or lie to your audience or whatever. Honesty just doesn't get you places. It's really, really hard to be successful while always being 100% honest and authentic. The world of media, and by extent social media, just doesn't allow for that to work. It's not new that if you want to make it big, you're gonna have to step on some bodies or alter your personality in a way that allows you to be okay with, for example, the platform you create on, to have double standards, not be consistent with their own terms of service and stuff like that. Which is also the perfect segue to me telling you I'm streaming again twice a week. Every Thursday and every Saturday you get to stream at me live from 8 PM to 10 PM Amsterdam time on twitch.tv/Swagbraham. Link is in the description below. Now, in all honesty, honesty does have an appeal. It shows people that you are real. It rewards you with a certain type of people flocking to your videos and streams and whatnot. But those same people will eventually call you out if you're not 100% brutally honest, or have a controversial, maybe even hypocritical opinion in their minds. Now, like I said, there's nothing wrong with altering your behavior a bit to appeal to bigger masses or to attract potential brand deals. However, where a lot of content creators step into a big pile of doo-doo, in my opinion, is accepting deals for stuff for games they would never touch with a 5-foot pole otherwise. Or where they haven't done their research on the brand or product and give a really shallow review, let's play, and the like. Now, I'm not immune to that either. I accepted a sort of a brand deal for a game before, and after playing it for a while, I noticed more predatory behavior in terms of pay to win. The difference here is that when you're someone who values that brand deal, but still look out for your audience in terms of, not promoting stuff that wouldn't benefit them, you take the video down and stop promoting a product or game that isn't in their best interest. So, what do you do? As a creator, how do you weigh being profitable versus being authentic and or honest? Now, it all comes down to what your morals are and how much you value the long-term goal of being a creator. See, with being someone on the internet, you get exposed to a lot of drama and a lot of people investigating backgrounds of, for example, brands or studios. So your advantage of being online is if you're being approached by a brand or publisher, you can do some research and see if the product or game is in your audience's best interest. Right, let's head back for a moment to an earlier point where I mentioned that you can lose all authenticity and therefore the support of your audience. This is a situation you do not want to happen. This is where so many giants in the YouTube game have fell off and just couldn't make it back to the top because they changed so much over the course of time that they've become disingenuine, or easier said, fake. While some part of your audience will not be able to deal with 100% honesty, the majority can't deal with 100% fake either. Here's where channels will start to cover your story, your changes, ailment memes are born, and all that nasty stuff. It's definitely an area you want to avoid as best as you possibly can. Now here's the part where it all comes down to you. You need to decide if the bag is worth altering your personality or behavior for, and only you can decide if you're willing to let that behavior influence your future. Because believe it or not, your actions will inevitably have consequences. Be that people will regard you as fake because you take any and every brand deal under the sun, or because you changed in such a way where what originally attracted the viewer or your audience no longer exists. Or the other side, where you lose your viewers because you're seen as too confrontational and come off a bit obnoxious with very strong opinions. Believe me, it happens. Been there, done that kind of situation. Now if I may, my biggest tip is to keep a split. Be 80% authentic and reserve 20% that's left for your brand deals, your sponsors, your hyped up videos, your big game releases and all that jazz. At the end of the day, you have to live with what you do. So might as well make the best of it, so you don't start loathing what once was your big passion. Creating content, being creative, and or entertaining people. And that's pretty much it. As always, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, later.